our concrete technology subject. We are starting the unit number 4 of the concrete technology. Till now, we have finished in all respect the unit number 1, which relates with the meaning of the concrete and the concrete technology, various ingredients of the concrete. We have seen all the parameters of the cement. We have seen all the parameters of the aggregate in our unit number 1. In our unit number 2, we have seen the various methodologies or various processes involved in the production of the concrete, as well as placing and the curing, etc. Okay, we are moving step by step. In the third unit, we have seen one of the very important properties of the concrete. That unit was wholly dedicated to that property, that is the strength. Okay. In our unit number 2, we have seen another property, that is the workability. We will be moving step by step. In this unit, we will be studying a very important component of the concrete. I have been telling you again and again. That is the admixtures, cement, aggregate, water are the basic ingredients of the concrete. And the fourth one, that is the admixtures, is nowadays inevitable ingredient of the concrete, as I have been telling you again and again. This is the syllabus you have, the additives and the admixtures, various types, etc. Various types of the admixtures and their properties and how they affect the concrete, whether in the fresh form or whether in the hardened form, that we will be studying in the same unit. You have a very important method or very important parameter or the phenomena of the concrete related, that is concrete mixed design. Okay, as I have been telling you again and again, the expertise in concrete mixed design fetches or gets a very importance in your job. ये कंक्रीट मिक्स डिजाइन के बारे में आपको यदि नॉलेज है तो आपके फ्यूचर के लिए बहुत जरूरी है, यानी अदर देन द नॉलेज ऑफ द कंक्रीट। बहुत इजी है, जैसे हम स्ट्रक्चर का डिजाइन करते हैं वैसे ही कंक्रीट मिक्स डिजाइन है। इसको कंक्रीट मिक्स प्रोपोर्शनिंग करके भी बोलते हैं। जैसे कंक्रीट के इंग्रेडिएंट्स है तो वो कैसे निकालना, वो यानी कंक्रीट मिक्स डिजाइन है, कोई कठिन नहीं। एडमिक्सचर्स है, we are starting with the admixtures. To support the meaning of the admixtures, I have added certain slides. You can see here in these slides that some materials are placed in the plates, okay, and some are in the bottles. So the material or the liquids in the bottles indirectly shows one of the type of admixtures, or they are called as the chemical admixtures, and the materials in the plate shows another type of the admixtures, they are called as the mineral admixtures. Okay, again I expect that all of you must have taken your notebook and the pen along with you, and whatever you feel important, that you are noting down in your notebook, today's date and today's subject we have started. So admixtures and the additives. Okay, in both these words, the first two words, that is AD and here also AD, are the common. Means the mixtures which are added into the concrete or some materials which are added either to the concrete or to the cement are called as the admixtures and additives. And what for they are added? They are added to improve certain qualities of the concrete. We have seen since our first day that the concrete needs three basic qualities. That is the strength, that is the workability, and the durability. So to achieve these properties, we add certain materials to the concrete. They are called as the additives or the admixtures. We will see one by one. You can see in this slide, I have shown two photographs. At the top, one photograph showing by the arrow, and at the bottom, another photograph. The bottom photograph, you will see there are certain chilies and some garlic and some turmeric and some lavang, etc. All these materials are nothing but the, you must have guessed up till now, at least maximum of you must have guessed that these are the materials. We call them as the spices, और इन मराठी और हिंदी उसे हम मसाला कहते हैं. मसाला सब्जियों में डालते हैं मसाला. ठीक है, जो भी हम खाना बनाते हैं सब्जी वगैरह उसमें मसाला डालते हैं. क्यों डालते हैं भाई मसाला? तो ये ओरिजिनल जो हमारी सब्जी है या जो भी हम दाल बनाते हैं वो दाल है, तेल है और बाकी सब मिक्स करके तो हम बना सकते हैं. तो ये ज्यादा की चीजें क्यों डालते हैं? ये ज्यादा की चीजें इसलिए डालते हैं कि दिस एड्स टू द फ्लेवर, टू द टेस्ट of the vegetables or to our meals. Okay, so in the same way, the additives and the admixtures add certain flavors or add certain qualities to the concrete. Therefore I dared to compare these with the spices we use in the our meals, in our vegetables. So now we will see the one by one the definition. So admixtures are the material other than cement, water and aggregate and reinforcement or the reinforcing added to the concrete batch either immediately before or during mixing. Means these materials are added to the concrete either before mixing or during mixing. For what? With a view to modify one or more of the properties of the concrete in the plastic, that is in wet condition or hardened state. Okay, so these are added. Admixture, what is the difference between the admixture and the additive? That will be learning. The admixtures are added in the ingredients of the concrete either before the concrete is being mixed or during the concrete is being mixed. Okay, so these are the admixtures. What does they do? I have told you already. We will be seeing in detail in our next discussion. Now the additives. The additives are the material, or additive is a material which is added at the time of grinding the cement clinker at the cement factory. Okay, so the additives are the materials which are added in the cement. They are added in the cement when? Either at the time of grinding the cement ingredients or maybe at the time of heating or burning or mixing the cement ingredients. That is that mixing, we have our concrete technology word, mixing all the ingredients of the concrete, we call it as a blending. Okay, blending means mixing. So additives are the materials which are added at the time of grinding the cement clinker, यानी सीमेंट बनने के बाद में, सीमेंट जब बन जाता है किल्न में से, भट्टी में से बाहर निकलता है तो वो सीमेंट के क्लिंकर बनते हैं. तो वो सीमेंट क्लिंकर ग्राइंड करते वक्त उसमें हम एडिटिव डालेंगे, या उसके पहले भी जब हम ऑल द इंग्रेडिएंट्स ऑफ द कंक्रीट आर ग्राउंड or are burnt at 1400 to 1500 degrees Celsius. At that time also we can add the additives. Again, both serve the same purpose, but they are different, bit different. You will understand what they are. Okay. In our syllabus, the more emphasis is given on the admixtures, but we should know the difference. I think you all must have got what I mean to say. The difference between the additives and the admixtures. Now, what does these admixtures do? These are the properties of the admixtures add to the concrete. They reduce the concrete cost. How they reduce the concrete cost? We will study in detail next. They achieve certain properties in concrete. Okay? They achieve certain properties. The concrete has got three basic properties. You must have learned by heart now. That is the strength, the workability, and the durability. So these three properties they achieve. And again, some more properties if required that can be also given with the use of the admixtures to maintain the quality of concrete during the stages of mixing, the transporting, placing, and curing in adverse weather conditions. Okay. So what does they do? They maintain the quality of concrete in adverse weather condition. Okay. What may be the adverse weather condition? Only two bad conditions may be there. The first is either we know that the ideal temperature needed for the concrete to hydrate is 27 degrees Celsius. Okay. The ideal temperature needed for the concrete to hydrate is 27 degrees Celsius, plus minus 1-2 degree is allowed. But more than 40 degrees Celsius, we call it as a hot weather concrete. That is again adverse weather condition. Or maybe less than 10 degrees Celsius, means in the colder region, then that is also because both these temperatures affect those three properties, that is the strength, workability, and durability of the concrete. So the admixtures help to overcome the problems in adverse condition. They overcome certain emergencies during concrete operation. Okay, we want some time that concrete should set earlier. Then in that case, we may use certain admixtures which will help in early setting, or we may use certain admixtures which will help in later setting of the concrete. We will see one by one. You will definitely understand all these things. They improve or modify some or the several properties of the Portland concrete. They compensate for some deficiencies. If certain deficiencies or lacuna is there in the concrete, that can be compensated with the use of the admixtures. Now we will move further into the detail of the functions of admixtures. Okay, they accelerate the initial setting time. Understand very clearly the acceleration of the initial setting time, and the second point is they retard the initial setting time. Okay, so what is the meaning of acceleration of the initial setting time? The acceleration means what is the initial setting time, minimum setting time needed? We know that the minimum setting time needed is 30 minutes. Okay, the minimum setting time needed is 30 minutes, and the maximum setting time, I am using the minimum word for the setting time, and the final setting time maximum needed is 10 hours or the 600 minutes. Okay, so acceleration of initial setting time means they reduce the initial setting time. If we use certain admixtures and we want to accelerate the initial setting time, means they reduce the initial setting time less than 30 minutes. Okay, we want some emergency work to be done of the concrete, some repairs, and we want that concrete should set earlier. So we want to accelerate the initial setting time. We want to reduce the initial setting time. Okay, So acceleration of the initial setting time आपके नोटबुक में लिख दीजिए, means reduction of the initial setting time, retardation of the initial setting time. इनिशियल सेटिंग टाइम को रिटार्ड करना यानी इनिशियल सेटिंग टाइम को बढ़ाना. ठीक है, 30 मिनट से ज्यादा चाहिए हमें. Why we need the initial setting time to be more? Because we need sufficient time for the mixing, then for transportation, for placing, for compaction, and the finishing. Okay, sometimes, as I have told you, we have the ready mix concrete plant somewhere 10-15 kilometers away from where we want to place the concrete. So 10-15 kilometers travel time takes a lot of the time. Okay, during that travel time also concrete should be workable, workability रहना चाहिए, और बाकी भी जो प्रॉपर्टी है सेट नहीं होना चाहिए वगैरह. तो we want to retard the initial setting time. They enhance the workability. What does the admixture do? They increase the workability. Okay, we know that the workability of the concrete can be increased by addition of the water. But we also know that the addition of water not only increases the workability but decreases the strength. So instead of adding water, if we could increase the workability by adding the admixtures, that is good. Okay, so they increase the workability or enhance the workability. They improve the penetration, flowability, penetration or flowability and pumpability. Okay, nowadays we need the concrete to flow through the pipe. Okay, because the pumpable concrete is one of the method of transporting the concrete. So pipe to flow through the concrete to flow through the pipes, the steel pipe. So we know that concrete must have flowability, that concrete should flow like the liquid. But the concrete is heterogeneous material. It contains certain solids. Those are the admixture. Those are the these our aggregates. Okay. So therefore we use certain admixtures which adds or which increases the flowability, that is penetration of the concrete below reinforcement. Sometimes the heavy reinforcement is provided in the structure. So concrete should penetrate into that reinforcement so that there should not be any voids in the reinforcement. So the aggregate increases the penetration, flowability and the pumpability. They reduce the segregation. So segregation needs to be reduced. We know that there must be cohesiveness. The ingredients of the concrete should not separate out. They reduce the water cement ratio. Okay, if the workability is increased by addition of the admixtures, so we can reduce the water. Okay, we can add the admixtures to increase the workability. At the same time we can reduce the water to achieve the same workability. So with the help of the admixtures we can reduce the water, that is we can reduce the water cement ratio. So reduction of the water cement ratio will result in increase of the strength, will result into increase of the durability. You know the relation between the water cement ratio, strength and durability. They control the alkali aggregate expansion. There is one chemical reaction that occurs sometime between the alkalis in the cement and some certain reactive aggregates. Okay, we know that we need the aggregate to be inert. It should not react with the hydroxides, that is sodium hydroxide or the potassium hydroxide. Na2O plus H2O gets converted into the NaOH. K2O plus H2O converts to the KOH, that is the alkali, and those alkalis react with the aggregates and they result in expansion, unsoundness. So therefore if we use certain admixtures, they reduce this expansion. They also reduce this alkali silica reactivity. Okay, silica is there in the aggregates, so they reduce that reactivity. They inhibit corrosion of the reinforcement. We know that we use the reinforcement in the concrete. So with the use of the admixtures, the corrosion of the reinforcement can be reduced or can be 100% controlled, because corrosion of the reinforcement not only reduces the strength of the reinforcement, but also reduces the strength and durability of the concrete. Okay, resistance to chemical attack, certain chemical attack, if the concrete or the structure is in marine structure, or if the concrete structure is in certain chemical factories, then with the use of the admixtures, this chemical attack can be reduced. They reduce the heat of hydration. This is very important. With the use of the certain admixtures, the heat of hydration can be reduced. Again, very important concept or the property. They increase the bond between old and the new concrete and the steel. Okay, so bond is very important. Sometimes in our construction work, we face such problem that we complete certain concrete earlier, before 10-15 days or 1 month 2 months before, and we do the latter concrete after some 1 month 2 months. So there should be bond between the old and the new concrete, leak proof concrete. Then we use certain admixtures, and also to have bond between steel and the concrete. They produce cellular colored non skiddy wearing concrete. है ना, आजकल का जमाना है तो कुछ आर्किटेक्चरल कंक्रीट भी आ रहा है, कलर्ड कंक्रीट, है ना। अभी बिल्डिंग वगैरह सब हम कलर्ड टाइप की बाहर से अपीयरेंस बनाते हैं, या फ्लोरिंग कलर्ड का होता है। नॉन स्कीडिंग यानी उस पर से स्कीड या घिस हमने गिरना नहीं चाहिए, स्लिप नहीं होना चाहिए। तो वी यूज सर्टन admixtures to get the colored and the non-skid surface. Concrete of fungicidal, gemicidal and insecticidal properties. बहुत बार कंक्रीट में कुछ फंगी हो जाते हैं, कुछ जर्म्स आ जाते हैं, कुछ इंसेक्ट्स आ जाते हैं, या कंक्रीट के बाजू में जो वुडन डोर्स एंड द फ्रेम्स रहते हैं तो उसमें ना है, तो इसलिए वी यूज दोज एडमिक्सचर्स। these are the examples वर्केबिलिटी कंक्रीट को देने के लिए we use super plasticizer, air entering agents। कंक्रीट का सेटिंग टाइम बढ़ाने के लिए या घटाने के लिए the admixtures used are called as the accelerators or the retarders। Strength, to give the strength to the concrete, we use silica fume or certain polymers। To increase the durability of the concrete, we use air entraining agent, silica fume or corrosion inhibitors. We will discuss in detail. Now how these additives or the admixtures, we are now going into the detail to the admixtures. So we will stick up to the admixtures. How they add properties to the, which property of the fresh concrete is improved with the help of the admixtures. If the admixtures are added, they increase the workability, they influence the workability. You can see in the photograph, the concrete is being done with the help of the pump and the pipe. So the concrete is flowing through the pipe. So the consistency of the concrete which is flowing through the pipe must look like this. It must be homogeneous. It must have a good workability, flowability. There should not be any segregation. It should be self-compactable, as well as if compacted with the help of the vibrator, it should not segregate. So with the help of the admixture, what we can achieve? We can achieve the good workability. Setting time, either we can increase the setting time with the help of the retarder, or we can decrease the setting time with the help of the accelerator, and also reduces the heat of hydration. In hardened concrete, means after the concrete gets hard or set, they add influence to the concrete's durability and strength. Okay, so these two properties are being given with the help of the admixtures. Now the various types, very important part, two types of the admixtures. Okay, chemical admixture and the mineral admixture. Which are the two types of the admixtures? Two types of the admixtures. Chemical admixtures, you can say they are the artificial admixtures. Chemical admixture, artificial admixture. Mineral admixture, Generally, maximum of the mineral admixtures are naturally occurring, or we may get in natural process. Okay, but the chemical admixtures are 100%. They are prepared artificially. They are chemicals. Okay, the examples of the chemical admixtures are the accelerators, the retarders, water reducing, and the air entering admixtures. Okay, some of the examples of the chemical admixtures. Mineral admixtures, the various examples are like the fly ash, the rice husk ash, and the silica fume, etc. Will be learning next. So mineral admixtures again adds to the strength and the durability. We use the chemical admixtures for all this purpose. Certain mineral admixtures increases the workability also. So strength, durability, and workability. Here also you can say accelerator, retarder, water reducing, air entering, and workability enhancing admixtures. Okay. Now in this table is also given in your notes. Very important table. These admixtures use is being approved and granted by the government of India by the Bureau of Standards, the Indian Standard 9103 1999, updated up to 2020, approves the use of the various types of the admixtures, as well as our Indian Standard 456 2000, updated 2020, also has the mention of the use of the admixtures. Okay, from your exam point of view as well as from your general knowledge point of view, you slowly gain the importance and the knowledge of these is, at least the numbers you try to remember or recollect. Okay, from exam point of view, this will add more marks to your answer. Okay, so admixtures Indian standard is 9103 as well as 456. So what does these admixtures do? They improve the rheology. So rheology is a new term with you. So rheology includes the structure of the concrete. Okay, it may be new, but it is not difficult. Rheology means workability. Rheology means movability. Rheology means compactability. Rheology means cohesion. Okay, rheology means strong density, dense concrete. The concrete should be dense. So rheology includes all these things. You must have noted. I will again repeat. Rheology means workability. Rheology means well-graded aggregate. Rheology means movability. Rheology means cohesion, cohesibility, dense concrete, homogeneous. And also rheology means the good strength, means hardening, or after setting the concrete there are no voids in the concrete. Then also we say that the concrete, that admixture, what does they do? They improve the rheology, they improve the strength and the durability. Okay, so rheology not only include workability but all the parameters of the workability as well as the parameters of the hardened concrete, that is the voids or the pores into the concrete. Now two types of the admixtures as we have seen, chemical admixture and the mineral admixture. Here in bracket I have added the word pozzolanas. Okay, so pozzolanas you are well aware with. So mineral admixture are nothing but the pozzolanas, and we have learned by heart in our first unit what is the meaning of the pozzolanas. Okay, very simple. So chemical admixture, accelerating admixture, retarding admixture, air entering admixture, water reducing or plasticizing admixture. These are the some of the examples. Some admixtures are high range water reducing, or they are also called as super plasticizers. Means plasticizer and the super plasticizer. They are the normal or the they are normal type or retarding type. So the super plasticizers are of the two type. They are the normal type, and also they increase sometimes or maximum times nowadays. They increase the initial setting time. So they are the not only plasticizer, but they are retarder also. So the plasticizers nowadays are comprising of another property, that is retarder. They increase the workability as well as they increase the setting time. Okay, now the mineral admixtures. These mineral admixtures are further divided into two parts. That is the product material, and the another is natural material. Okay, mineral admixtures. They are generally the pozzolanas. Okay, they are divided into two parts. That is the product material. Product material means they are the byproduct of certain production mechanism of certain material. So product material and the some pozzolanas or the mineral admixtures are naturally occurring. So what are the byproduct material? They are the fly ash. Fly ash, as I have told you, it is produced in the thermal power plant. It is the byproduct of the burning of the coal, which is used in the power plant. The second one is silica fume. It is again a byproduct of certain arc process. Okay, so silica fume, it is 100 times finer than the cement. You know the fineness of the cement. It is 225 with respect to the specific surface. Up till now, you must have learnt by heart the fineness of the cement. It is 225 meter square per kg, or 2250 centimeter square per gram. That is 2250 centimeter square is the surface area of all the cement particles of 1 gram of the cement, or 225 meter square the surface area of the 1 kilogram of the cement finer particles. But this silica fume is 100 times finer, means 2250 and two more zeros. Okay, so 22,500 centimeter square per gram is the fineness of the silica fume. Okay, or 225 again 20 is the fineness of the silica fume. Okay, then rice husk ash. You all are from the Bhandara, Gondia, Gadchiroli district, Chandrapur. All these district produces bulk rice, धान. So rice husk is the waste product, धान का कोंडा जिसको बोलते हैं. तो ये राइस हस्क जो है, इसको प्रॉपर बर्निंग करने के बाद में उसकी जो ऐश मिलती है, वो भी बाय प्रोडक्ट मटेरियल है और वो पोजोलानिक मटेरियल है. आप सोच सकते हैं कि आपके एरिया में कितना राइस हस्क बेकार जाता है. आप में से किसी ने सोचा तो ये फैक्ट्री डाल सकता है फ्यूचर में, एंड ही कैन सप्लाई द राइस हस्क ऐश फॉर द सीमेंट फैक्ट्रीज. ओके, this rice husk ash is a very good pozzolanic material. Metacaolin is another byproduct. Ground granulated blast furnace slag. You all are aware about the GGBS. Okay, we have seen GGBS cement, ground granulated blast furnace slag cement. So one of the material which is produced byproduct of the steel factory, steel industry. Now the naturally occurring pozzolanas or these mineral admixtures are the volcanic gases or the volcanic tuffs. Volcano, Jwalamukhi, we call it as a Jwalamukhi. So the volcanic gases, the gases from the volcanoes, the tuffs or the ash from the volcano are the very good pozzolanic material, which contains all this contains the maximum of the silicon oxide or the silica. Calcined clay is again a type of the clay obtained on our earth. It contains maximum of the silica, so therefore it is a very good pozzolana. Shells, these are the shells which are obtained from the seabeds. So these shells are very good containers or containing the pozzolanic material. Therefore, they are very good mineral admixtures. Diatomaceous earth is again one of the earth or one of the clay material which is found in the seashores. Okay, so this also is a naturally occurring mineral admixtures. Okay, these are the, if you go through the books, either through the Shetty's concrete technology book, you will see the list of the various types of the admixtures: the accelerating, retarding, water reducing, air entraining, waterproofing, pumping, super plasticizers, other miscellaneous, and the list is unending. Or nowadays, as the technology is improving and developing, so therefore the list of the admixtures is also numerous, and the numerous admixtures are being used. Okay, just please excuse me. क्लास चालू है मेरा। मैं ओपन में हूँ और मैं क्लास की बात में भी बोल सकता हूँ, आखिरी में हूँ। यूनिवर्सिटी का काम है, हाँ ओपन ओपन। आपका जो अप्रूवल लेटर आया है, हाँ ओपन में आया है या रिजर्व में आया है? नहीं नहीं ओपन में आया है, कोई रिजर्व का मैं लगे तो भेजूंगा कॉपी। I am very sorry, friends, that I have to disturb you. So now we are moving to the first part of the mineral admixture, that is the pozzolanic material. Okay, because we have learnt about the pozzolanic material very well in our first unit. So they are nothing but the siliceous or the siliceous and aluminous material. Okay, siliceous means silicon oxide. Siliceous material or the siliceous and aluminous, or sometimes this pozzolanic material contains silica and the alumina, and also certain pozzolanic material like the GGBS contains, in addition to the silica alumina, they also contains the calcareous material, that is the calcium oxide. Okay, so they are as good as cement, because the content of the cement is again silica alumina and the calcium oxide CaO. Okay, so the GGBS is a very good pozzolanic material which contains siliceous, aluminous and the calcareous material. So pozzolanic material, this is, and as we have discussed earlier, the pozzolanic material has on itself, the pozzolanic material on itself, it doesn't have any binding property. It doesn't have any cementitious property. Cementitious and a binding property. A new word maybe we are discussing today. The meaning of the cementitious is nothing but the binding property. The meaning of the cement, though we are using it for one material used in concrete, but the dictionary meaning of the cement is to bind two things, to hold two things. So cementitious material means the material which holds two things, which has got the binding property. But the pozzolanic material on itself does not have any binding property. Or if some pozzolanic material is there, like the GGBS, as it contains CaO, so it has got little binding property. Okay, so pozzolanic material, siliceous, siliceous aluminous, siliceous aluminous calcareous, does not have any binding property, but in the presence of moisture, in the presence of moisture, chemically react with the calcium hydroxide liberated on hydration at ordinary temperature to form a compounds possessing cementitious property. We have seen earlier that pozzolanic chemical or pozzolanic chemical process, wherein this siliceous material or siliceous and aluminous material, it reacts with that useless calcium hydroxide, which is produced during the hydration of the cement in the concrete. Due to the unburnt calcium oxide remained in the cement. Okay, I will bit remind you that the ingredients of the cement are calcium oxide, the silicon oxide, and the aluminum oxide, basic ingredients. The other ingredients are there: the iron oxide, the magnesium oxide, sodium oxide, potassium oxide, and the sulfates. The important three ingredients are the calcium oxide, the silicon oxide, and the aluminum oxide. They are taken in certain fixed percentages or proportions that we have seen. They are ground, finely ground, and then they are burnt at 14 to 1500 degrees Celsius to form the cement, to produce the cement. That is the cement clinkers. Those clinkers are in the form of the nodules. Okay, and those clinkers are later on cooled, and then they are ground further. Okay, and after grinding, it is mixed with the gypsum, calcium sulfate, again fine gypsum, and it is used as a cement or the binding material. But while burning or while converting this calcium oxide and the silicon oxide in the presence of the aluminum oxide into the cement, that is the box compound, certain calcium oxide, certain CaO remains unburnt, and that cement, that calcium oxide is not converted into cement, but it remains in the cement, and that calcium oxide creates problem for the concrete later on. That calcium oxide reacts with water, H2O, forms calcium hydroxide, and this calcium hydroxide has got three bad properties. We have been repeating again and again. The first is this calcium hydroxide is unsound. It expands, it swells with time. Second, it does not have any strength. It is very brittle. It is brittle like the chalk. Chalk, we can crush the chalk with the help of our hands. So it's brittle like a chalk. And third, very bad property is it dissolved into water. It dissolves into the water and it flows with the water. So the water which is in contact with the concrete percolates into concrete. This percolated water carries the calcium hydroxide and creates the voids in the concrete. And also this calcium hydroxide, when appears over the surface of the concrete, over the outer surface, after evaporating the water, it forms the white patches over the surface of the concrete. That is called as the leaching of the concrete or efflorescence. Okay, efflorescence or the leaching of concrete. So what does this pozzolanic material do then? This pozzolanic material, that is the silicon oxide, SiO2, in very fine form, but in presence of the water, it reacts with this calcium hydroxide. This useless, unsound, soluble, brittle calcium hydroxide, and it forms a CSH gel. It forms a CSH gel, and this CSH gel has got cementitious properties. Okay, the CSH gel, that is the C means calcium oxide, S means SiO2, and H means H2O. So the CSH gel formed due to the chemical reaction between the pozzolanic material and the calcium hydroxide in presence of the water creates again a binding material like the cement creates after hydration of water. Cement also creates with hydration of the water CSH gel. The CSH gel, you know that the CSH gel, that is the cement gel or the cement paste we call, has got, after hardening, it becomes a solid mass, it binds. So similarly, this pozzolanic material in presence of the water and this calcium hydroxide, useless calcium hydroxide, it forms this CSH gel, and this CSH gel has got the binding property. It binds again the remaining voids or the remaining aggregates which are not yet bounded, which are not yet bind by the cement. remain to be bound by the cement are again bound or binded by the pozzolanic and this calcium hydroxide and the water chemical reaction, that is the CSH gel, and again it gives additional strength as well as it fills the pores or the voids, and it gives the additional impermeability, that is it increases the impermeability, it increases the durability of the concrete. So these are the importance of the this pozzolanic material. So here again under microscope two sketches are there wherein well hydrated Portland cement paste is shown here, wherein you can see this pentagonic crystal of CaOH twice we have seen earlier in transition zone. But here the pozzolanic cement or the pozzolanas are used, so no such calcium hydroxide is there, and all the voids in the concrete around these aggregates are filled with the cement and the cement paste after hydration. But but without using the pozzolanic material, the concrete may have the voids, the concrete may have such brittle calcium hydroxide. Okay, so that is the importance of the uh, fly ash or the pozzolanic material or the mineral admixtures. The various types of the mineral admixtures we have discussed are the silica fume, it looks like this bluish form, the slag, ground granulated blast furnace slag, fly ash, and the metakaolin. Okay, natural pozzolanas, clay shells, opaline shells, diatomaceous earth, volcanic tufts, pumicides, etc. Artificial, fly ash, blast furnace slag, silica fume, rice husk ash, metakaolin, and after grinding the brick, the material formed is called as the surki. So it is also a very good pozzolanic material. This surki or the ground bricks, red bricks, ground bricks, this surki is used in construction of the one of the eminent dams in our India, the dam which is constructed over river Satluj. Okay, so there the surki is being used. Now, one by one, we will be moving on to the first type of the mineral admixtures, that is the diatomaceous earth. Okay, as I have told you in exam on this unit, sometimes you may be asked a short note on any of the these admixtures, maybe a mineral admixture, maybe a pozzolanic admixture, maybe a artificial admixture or the chemical admixture. So we will be discussing one by one the various types of the admixtures. The first is diatomaceous earth. Okay, its origin is in its origin is organogen origin, that is it is a hydrated amorphous. Amorphous is nothing but the opposite to the crystalline. The material is obtained on earth in two form, one is crystalline form and one is amorphous form, non crystalline form. So this diatomaceous earth is obtained in on our earth, on our this uh, soil, in our soil, in the form of the amorphous silica, which is composed of the skeletal shells from the cell walls of many varieties of the माइक्रोस्कोपिक एक्वेटिक एल्गी. ठीक है, समंदर में मिलता है. समंदर में जो अलगी रहती है, जो शेवाळ रहता है, वो शेवाळ का आफ्टर इट डेथ्स its death occurs and it gets converted into the skeletal shells. In the skeletal shells, this diatomaceous earth is obtained as it is naturally occurring. It is soft, it is siliceous sedimentary rock type, that is it can be easily crumbled into the fine white powder. It has a particle size ranging from less than 3 micrometers to more than 1 micromillimeter. but typically 10 to 200 micrometers is its size. Typical chemical composition, as we have done earlier, we have tried to understand, it is 80 to 90% of the silica, SiO2, 2 to 4% of the alumina, that is Al2O3, and 0.5 to 2% of the iron oxide. So it is a naturally occurring material, diatomaceous earth. It occurs into the sea, and it is nothing but produced after the aquatic algae. When it gets converted into the skeletal shells, after it's that algae deads, after it death its death occurs, after it is dead, it gets converted into skeletal shell. This skeletal shell contains the diatomaceous earth. Okay, these are the details of this. They are highly reactive to lime. They are very reactive to the lime. Lime, again calcium oxide, which gets converted into calcium hydroxide. So they are very good. This diatomaceous earth has got very good reaction with the lime, that is lime as well as its byproduct. But their skeletal microstructure accounts for a high water requirement. Means as it is very fine, it's the more the fineness, more the water needed for the hydration. So maybe use of the diatomaceous earth may increase the water cement ratio, which is harmful for the strength and durability of concrete containing this pozzolana. It is obtained in California, Algeria, Canada, Germany, Denmark, and furthermore, deposits such as the molar of the Denmark generally contain large amount of the clay, therefore must be thermally activated before use in the order to enhance the pozzolanic reactivity. Okay. So this diet at this diatomaceous earth, we will take the break. Regarding fly ash, which we have discussed in a large volume earlier, but we will again discuss in our next lecture. We will be taking our break today.